profession and your professional connections to this historic event, how were you imagining designing this piece of sculpture in the very beginning?
Can you hear me? Testing.
Yes.
You can hear me. Can
Yes.
everybody hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I stalked Carolyn McKinstry because she had just left the bathroom before the bomb went off. And also, people don't realize that I might get emotional. Sorry, I'm already starting.
Okay.
She picked up the phone. The phone rang after she left the bathroom, and the phone rang. And I'm going to do it in the just most disgusting dialect I can. You got 3 minutes. She didn't have 3 minutes. They didn't have 3 minutes. The bomb went off almost as soon as she put the phone back on the receiver. But she survived, and she's one of my actually closest friends. And so she was speaking downtown when I was coming through Birmingham, and friends of mine said, there's a piece of sculpture you should do. And I said, oh, really? And they showed me this little 4-line advertisement for a sculptor. And so when everybody else had several months to do a presentation, I only had 4 days and 4 nights. And I found out about Carolyn, and I found out that she was speaking somewhere. And I basically went and just waited till this beehive of people got away from her. And I sat down beside her when she was a tiny second alone. And I told her who I was and what I wanted to do and where I was from, at Mountain Brook, and that I was interested in doing this piece, and I wanted to know the entire story of anything that she could remember. And so she, right there in the lobby of wherever we were, some performing arts center in Birmingham, and she started telling me the whole story. Mm-hmm. And from her description of the story, which is very different from others like Lisa McNair, it was from her remembrance and her remembering what the girls were doing when she had just left the bathroom to, sorry, I'm going to get emotional. Sorry, y'all. Right before they were blown into body parts. So that's how I did it. And then I worked, thankfully, our former Alabama's First Lady, Lori Ellen Siegelman's mother, was my second mother growing up. And so I needed a big place where I could put everything spread out and do my drawings. And she was on one of those apartment buildings up by Vulcan on the mountain. And she said, Elizabeth, well, they called me Bibba. So come on up here, you've got free range. So for 4 days and nights, along with Hank Black's wife, Martha Black, we worked furiously to get a presentation for the committee with everything that Carolyn had told me. So I hope that answers your question.
It does. It does. I was particularly interested in how you have 3 of the little girls at the bench, and one is standing unattached to the bench. What inspiration took you to that?
Well, she was a leader. She had every single badge that you could have as a Girl Scout. So she was a born leader. And my idea was that she was saying, hey, girls, stop primping in the mirror, which is what they were doing, and come on. And so she was trying to get them to come on up to the church to begin their service and their meeting. It was Children's Day, which a lot of people don't know. And so the place was filled with children, the church. So I put her as the leader, saying, come on, let's get out of here. We got things to do. And I didn't have enough time to put her sash on for the Girl Scouts and put all of her medals and badges that she had won. But she was an extraordinary young girl. And also, she was part Indian, part Irish, and part African American. So a lot of people say, well, she doesn't look African American. Well, hello. She was a conglomeration of, a mixture of many different, I just told you. So that was really difficult. All of them were difficult to portray because we only had brownie cameras then, the little box that you press the button down on. And there were no photographs of the girls. And to do a sculpture, you need a frontal, you need a side, a profile, and then you need a head spot to see how long the nose comes out, how big the jaw is. But I only had frontal photographs of all four. So that's what I worked with,
Well, thank you. That was amazing. There is a wonderful YouTube on this. It's close to 30 minutes long. It's an incredible description of the process and more about Ms. Elizabeth MacQueen. And I hope you will watch it. We'll send you that after the pilgrimage is over. You'll have that. Who has a question that they would like to ask Elizabeth?
Well, can I say something about the documentary, which won an Emmy, which is very, very rare. We won an Emmy from CBS. It's CBS documentary, Hope and Honors, how you put it into YouTube. It's 26 minutes long, and it goes through the whole process all the way, also through the horrific, horrible times of our history there, but to the foundry in Berkeley, so you will know how to make a bronze after you see it. So, and we won an Emmy, which I'm very proud of. And so I hope you enjoy it.
Well, thank you. It's an incredible piece, and we appreciate your being with us. When we first reached out to Elizabeth, she was either in Italy or France.
I was in Paris working on another piece of justice called Charlie Hebdo, where the artists massacred by two brothers. Artists massacred. Charlie Hebdo. It's the sister magazine of our Wild and Crazy Mad magazine. So two brothers went and massacred the artists. So I was working on a piece in their honor, and I still am. So.
Well, thank you.
Justice must be. We have to stand up. Even artists, we have to stand up against the atrocities that are going on around the world.
Well, thank you. We've enjoyed a musical piece this morning. We've enjoyed looking at artwork and stained glass. The Wales window here in the church is magnificent. You've given us from a sculptor's heart how a piece of sculpture can tell a story and help all of us engage in conversation about these events in our past and how we go forward together. Okay, one last chance for anyone who would like to pose a question, and you're welcome to do that.
Anything.
Right after
I'm transparent.
Right. Elizabeth will tell you whatever the right answer is. She'll give it to you straight away. Phyllis, can you come back?
I'm here. Can you hear me? I'm here.
Right. Miss Phyllis is asking, would you ever consider a piece of sculpture considering the two young men who were also killed that same day? We learned about them today, probably for the first time for many of us.
All right. I was the first one, which is why you're probably seeing it now, to bring them up and to realize and to learn their stories, which were horrific. And I put 6 doves there, and 2 of the doves represent the 2 beautiful boys that were murdered that day. And also, I put their photographs on the bench.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, you heard the response now, so when they go out to look at the sculpture, they'll take a closer look. Okay, well, Elizabeth, until that fat royalty check arrives in your Bitcoin account, please accept all of our appreciation and gratitude, and let's have a round of applause for Elizabeth.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And listen, you're welcome to sit on the bench and take photographs. Please sit down and involve yourself with the piece. It's an interactive piece, so you can't hurt anything.
We will do that. Thank you so much. And thanks for
Okay.
your patience as we set up.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye,
Godspeed.
everybody.
Bye.
Kisses. I'll let you hang up. How's that?
We'll do that. Thank you. We'll do that. Thank you. Opening up more opportunities for poetry and prose to be examining our issues and having conversation in our area. That was created and sponsored by this lady. So please welcome Ms. Ashely Jones.
How do we want to do that?
Why don't you step up to that and I'll step behind you.
All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm not very tall, so hopefully y'all can see me in the back.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm so excited to speak with you all this morning. Well, afternoon, I suppose it is now. Hopefully you've had a great day here in Birmingham. I know it's raining. We would have turned off the rain if we were able. But I'm just going to read a poem, or would you like me to read two? What do you?
Two's great.
I will read two
Two's
that are
great.
directly
Even
related
better.
to what's behind us.
Excellent.
So as Gary mentioned, I'm a poet. I serve as Poet Laureate of Alabama, and my appointment was historic in that I am the first person of color and the youngest person to serve in this role. And the Office of the Poet Laureate started in Alabama in 1930. So at the time of my commissioning, it had been 91 years with no diversity. So I'm very proud to have finally broken that color barrier. And hopefully after me, all kinds of people will serve in this role. So I'm going to start with a poem about the four little girls, and I'm sure hopefully y'all saw the statue as you were touring this morning. This poem is in a form. I like writing in form, and this is an abecedarian, which just means if you look down the left margin of the poem, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. So this is Addie Carol Cynthia Denise. Amen, Alabama. Bring in the Dixie sun. Cover us in the delicate, glassy sunshine erupting all over. Find us fevered in the Glen, Jones Valley. Have you seen the churches with windows stained? Infinite steeples just turn any corner. Do you know how we bleed like Jesus? Loud vibrato melting the Sunday sky. New mercies exploding, dynamite over our brown bodies. Pretty little ones dressed in lace, beneath quivering elders in hose and hats. Remember how 16th Street shook? Symphony of fiery coughs that turned our Birmingham to blood. Under the cloak of night, grown men planted childish bombs. Villains, bombers, what did you see? X's on the eyes, a grim cartoon, yesterday's smiles turned into doom. Zealous men will not win in the end. Ooh, thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you. I've never read on a bus before. This is very exciting for me. So that was about the four little girls, and this was a part of my first book, Magic City Gospel. I wrote this book when I was in graduate school in Miami, which is a very different place than Alabama, and I was very homesick. So I used my poetry to write myself back home. And yes, I'm competing with this music. Hopefully y'all can hear me.
You can step up on
Well, I don't want to get too.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I'll get all up on you.
I'll hold you if you fall.
Okay, so yeah, this poem was really important to me to memorialize the girls who died in 16th Street Baptist Church bombing. I grew up here in Birmingham, so I grew up knowing all of these stories. I went to school not too far from here at the School of Fine Arts, just a few streets over. So it was not lost on me that history was all around me. And it wasn't until I was maybe in my early 20s that I realized if I had been alive at that time, it could have easily been me. It still can be me, today. So I think it's important for us to look at our history truthfully and understand how it interacts with our present and the future as well. So the last poem that I'll read is about the Children's March, which happened in 1963, right here in Kelly Ingram Park. Again, these are images I grew up seeing, the images of the children being hosed by the firemen and attacked by police dogs. This event has always been really fascinating to me just because of the cruelty of Bull Connor, but also because he was someone who said on record many times that he didn't believe Black people should be in any of the law enforcement or emergency services. And my dad was a fire chief here in Birmingham. So it's incredible to me to see what can happen when time passes and people's hearts can change. So this poem is also in a form, it's in haiku. Haiku are Japanese poems. They're very short, 3-line poems, but I used a series of haiku to create this poem. And it's called Birmingham Fire and Rescue Haiku 1963. And it seeks to give those children a different voice. What about us said we were on fire? What said extinguish quickly, fill up the hose, and set the dogs loose? Could they smell our confusion, or was it our singing? Were our voices like sirens, a chorus of blood? We were wet black seeds in that raw Birmingham flesh. We germinated. Did the photos show our fingers stretching like roots? Did they show our eyes, how they reached sunward to the hot, bright, silent star that could turn water to steam, seeds to fruit? Did they see themselves become our fertilizer? Thank y'all.
Oh my God.
When